objectively, moral object, natural family planning is not bad. It is good. But the intent has to be also straightened out rather. Okay. On the other hand, contraception, use of condoms, etc., and all these materials here, clearly closes out the procreative aspect. Okay. Next. Okay, I made a mistake. I should have not written LTOT there. There is also a statement in Donum Vitae that protects the unitive meaning of the act, the conjugal act. And Donum Vitae studies this further. You know, when the church also studies current issues, they use science, they research a lot, and they wait until several persons have seen the document and approve of it, theologians. So it's no joke. In other words, when documents like this are published, and we have to really think, not only to study, but to think at what they are saying. Okay. Donum Vitae, to take care, rather, of this unitive aspect, studied the techniques or the technologies that are at present available for now to help couples to conceive. The principle is simple. The church supports those that assist the act and the conception, while she frowns upon, or she's not happy with those that substitute or changes the entire thing, the fact of human sexuality. So the church supports artificial reproductive technologies or techniques that assist procreation, that assist conception. In fact, I wrote here two that the church are supportive. Well, one is here that is really supporting it, LTOT. Anyway, and the gift, although it's a question mark because theologians are debating. Okay, what are these methods? They don't remove the unitive aspect of the conjugal act. They still copulate. And then later, there's an intervention by science, by the doctors, to help either the egg or the sperm go and meet each other. No? Okay, that's basically what LTOT. I am not a doctor. I'm an economist by profession in the past, but so I'm not expert with this. But in a nutshell, that's what the church supports. Artificially helping procreation. And the fact that it's artificial doesn't mean it's wrong, no? Okay, but not substituting the act. On the other hand, in Donum Vitae, we are taught that there are things like cloning and in vitro fertilization that are immoral. Now, why are they immoral according to the document? It's because in these processes, the baby becomes a product. There's no copulation, rather just the extraction of the egg, frozen there, etc., etc. And we will have drastic consequences of this later on. And also, it is yeah, I could say it. It has effects also on the couple who decide to go IVF. Cloning, we can't do it yet, but it's many scientists can say that it's around the corner. Now, we can soon clone human beings. Now, the church will never support those, IVF and cloning, because of that. Because we are acting as gods. The baby as product. The human being is subject to quality control. I have friends who have done it. Friends before I became a priest. and I try to dissuade them, I use this argument, although I was unsuccessful, because, as I mentioned, this mentality of the child is my right. We have a right to have a child is so strong, and it tantamount the child is a product, it's an object. No? Okay, anyway, so what I use, which also is a reality every time a couple undergoes IVF, is this, no? They will be extracting eggs, many, and try to use the best combination. The church, after 2 millennia of study, has already mentioned, and I think it's a good person who attends Mass will easily understand this. The human organism starts at conception, okay, at fertilization, and the combination of sperm and egg. And so what happens in IVF? In IVF, you can possibly be killing other human beings. Those combinations which are not your liking. And I told my friend this powerful reality that you will be answerable to God because of that. Of course, you can, as I mentioned, sincerity in one's life, sincerity. Now, if the reason is clouded, neither would you understand natural law or anything else because of that ill intent. And it's not easy to understand if a couple thinks it's a right. It is ours, our choice, pro-choice. So I think that's why I failed in convincing my friend. It's not an easy thing, obviously. It's, of course, through prayer. You make the persons understand, convincing a couple not to go through it if they have even if they have the resources, because of this, because the possible murder that you are also engaged in doing with the doctors. Okay. There was also a question about surrogacy. Separate instruction came out regarding this instruction by the same congregation, Doctrine of Faith. What do we understand by this? The woman who carries in pregnancy an embryo implanted in her uterus, genetically a stranger to the embryo, because it has been obtained through the union of donors, of gametes of donors. And so she volunteers her womb to be the basin of that baby. Or sometimes, letter B, she could be the source of that egg. It was frozen, and then there's a sperm that is combined, and then she takes it. Okay, it also is surrogacy. Okay, what does the introduction say? It is contrary to unity of marriage and dignity of the procreation of the human person. Congregation of instruction and respect for human life, meaning it's immoral. Okay, because, and this also they say in the instruction, the child deserves to get out from her mom. Okay, especially in letter A, in the case of A, when the one who gives birth is completely a stranger. And in B, using the argumentation of IVF, this one is clearly also immoral. Okay. Now, I understand that it's a tough world. All these things, all these teachings of the church are supposed to make man happy. They're not burdens. And they should not neither should they be like books which we throw at people and moralize. Okay? My proposal is this. My proposal is to those who have friends who are encountering this difficulty in their conscience and thinking. Now, make them realize that they cooperate with God in procreation or in reproduction. They interpret God's love, and they have to decide in conscience. And many times, their conscience needs formation. They need to seek advice further. Okay? In question of Natural family planning, seek advice. In questions of IVF, the same. It's good to accompany couples because with sincerity of friendship, and they understand you want the good for them, what is best for them, it's a very powerful, convincing argument, really. Friendship, prayer, and sacrifice for them. Slowly, hopefully, they see the truth, no? Because all this teaching of the church simply proclaims those. It is for them, for the child. No? Science has been saying so many other things as a consequence of this IVF and all the other techniques we have had, but I will not delve into them. Now will I delve into the hot topic this morning about same-sex unions. But I want to open the floor now for questions because I may have missed some. Yeah. Are we there? You may ask. What? Everybody's still muted.
Wait a moment, Father.
We have around 20 minutes.
Okay. Ladies, whoever wants to ask, you may unmute yourself.
Sorry for the annotations earlier.
It's okay.
Got distracted a bit. But anyway, okay. We can answer a few. And the other questions perhaps can be answered via text or via messages. Oh, no one's answering. Wait, did I scare you? Are you still awake? Okay.
Okay. Father, you can stop sharing your screen.
Did I?
Okay. Father, there's a question from Patricia. May I ask if children born out of IVF have a soul?
Yes, yes. They have a soul. God has placed a soul in them. Okay? The thing is, in the procreation, although things are done without love or lacking love or in sin, God does not remove himself. He continues to give the soul to those who have sex, even if they're not married, even if they do IVF. Yeah. And we have had children in parent schools who who will listen to these classes and discover that how they were made was not really the best. Begotten, they were made, they were not begotten. No, so what to tell them? No, the test tube babies, it's not their fault. Period. And yeah, if they discover that it's not the best, okay, hopefully they don't do it. No? And God supplements or supplies grace somehow to their parents, and they have to pray for their parents, etc., etc. Okay, there's a question here from Jo. Jo is here. I know her. Anyway, sorry. From Iloilo, I guess. No? Okay. What advice would you give for a couple who cannot conceive but really wants to have a child? Okay. Go to a doctor with criteria, because there are techniques. Sometimes it has to be found out why they cannot conceive. It's the stress of the woman or the man or something else. Sometimes it resolved there. In other occasions, there really is a problem. Okay? So if there is a problem, really, I highly recommend this. And as chaplain, having interviewed several couples as well, it could be a very good experience, the fact of adoption. If the networks are so strong and there are good networks for adopting, it's a viable option. After exhausting all the means to conceive,